Our human-animal nature grants us access to a lot of capabilities with our lower body. We can squat massive amounts of weight and run long distances. But what's more interesting to me is all those capabilities in between. Things that challenge a mixture between strength, endurance, balance, mobility, and explosiveness. So here's 5 bodyweight leg challenges to test your abilities. The 100 rep squat will build confident, strong legs capable of hiking, cycling, and maneuvering low to the ground. You'll feel your quads and glutes burn, but be equally challenged by your heart's ability to keep pumping the blood, which makes it a great conditioning exercise. And if you can do 100 reps of squats unbroken, just think how much easier walking up a mountain will be. Though most people can find the willpower to muscle this out and then have wobbly legs for a few days, I find it much better to build up to this gradually. First with 5 sets of 20, then 3 sets of 33, and finally 2 sets of 50. But don't stop there. Once you can do 3 to 4 sets of 50, then you can probably knock out that 100 rep set with confidence and not need a hospital bed after. But I find that no matter how many of these I do, my quads are still completely full of blood and I'm breathing hard after. This is a great finisher to any training session. So a couple technique tips. Use your breath. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Don't rush. Find a cadence and stick with it. Relax your body. This isn't a max effort squat. This will take around 4 minutes, so you need to stay loose and relaxed to find the endurance to complete it.
Another method you can use to get your 100 reps is to do clusters of 20. So you hit your 20 reps, and then you're going to rest for 10 to 15 seconds, shake out your legs. So for me, this is about to be my 80th right here. Ooh, shake my legs out, taking around 10 to 15 seconds. I catch my breath, take some deep breaths, we get back going. Now, using a slant board can be so nice for shifting weight to the quads. Uh-oh, bud. Jack's had a little trip. He's gonna help me finish. You ready? 20 more. So the slant board shifts my weight forward. Get a close up of my VMO right here. Look how much it's pumping. Look how much that vein is filled up from hitting 100 reps here. And the VMOs are so good for knee health. If you have lingering knee issues, stiff knees, anything, highly recommend getting on the slant board, doing some high reps. Come on, bud. Come on. What do you say? Can you say squats?
The shrimp squat may be the hardest bodyweight squat because it requires massive quad strength. It's a great way to challenge your squat strength without using weight, and it has the added stability and coordination component, which requires some practicing. There's 2 levels here. The first level is to grab your foot behind you like a quad stretch with one hand. Squat down and touch the back knee to the ground before standing up. You can use the other hand to reach forward, giving you a counterbalance, which makes it a fair bit easier than the top level, grabbing your foot behind you with both hands. With no counterbalance,
Try one more time.
you need to drive your knee forward, push hard in the ball of your foot, and hope like heck the quads can handle it. 2 things that can help are, number 1, pushing onto your toes. So lifting the heel slightly and bending the torso forward to get a little bit more help from the hip. So the simplest regression to the shrimp squat is to reduce the range of motion. So you can set a yoga block or something else as a target for that back knee to touch. Over time, you work lower to the ground and you'll be surprised at how much harder it is to just get those last couple inches. The 10-minute jump rope will build strong, resilient feet and ankles. The ability to stay bouncy and reactive as you age is very important, and skipping rope for 10 minutes straight will cause great adaptations for the Achilles and calves, with hopefully some nice carryover to long walks, runs, and other activities. And of course, the cardiovascular component is pretty obvious. Building up your ability to handle jumping up and down for 10 minutes will be great for your heart and lungs. One thing not so obvious is the shoulders. They will start to burn from swinging the rope, and they need to build up to handle the longer durations. Although jumping rope for 10 minutes is a good way to test your abilities, training it with shorter durations is smarter in my opinion. It comes down to intensity. You can skip really slow for 10 minutes, or you can do shorter chunks where you keep the intensity higher and then rest and recover. So the workout that I'll do when I'm feeling really strong is 3 minutes on, 30 seconds off for 10 minutes. This works out to 9 minutes skipping time and 1 minute rest time. Basically the 10-minute jump rope with 2 quick breaks to recharge. But to build up to that, you can use the old 1 minute on, 30 seconds off workout for anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. If you do this 2 to 3 times per week for a few months, the 10-minute jump rope will be well within your reach. You can test it out, tick off that goal, and then probably go back to training shorter durations again. Dragon pistol squat is a great challenge for anyone who wants to work on their mobility, strength, and coordination with only one exercise. The first time that you try this, it may feel impossible, and it's definitely a project that you have to take on. But with the right technique and drills, most people can achieve this. Even with my long legs and stiff hips, I was able to do 5 reps in a row at one point in my life. The shrimp squat strength will greatly benefit the dragon, and the first step can be practicing the twisting shrimp. This is where you touch your knee to the outside of your working foot, and you can always use a block here to reduce the range of motion. A very unique part of the dragon pistol is the adductor strength that it takes to extend the leg behind your knee. To develop this strength, I'd advise doing some side-lying adductor lifts to get those inner thigh muscles activated. And you can superset the twisting shrimp and adductor lifts for a few sets. Now for the technique. First is learning how to connect your knee to the back of your calf. Wedge the upper part of your knee/lower thigh right into the knee pit. This will create a nice shelf that you can almost rest into. What you'll find is you actually don't have to squat as low as the shrimp, which can come as a relief. Start to practice this squat without extending the knee yet. Now, the angle of your extending leg can make this easier or harder. To begin, try extending the leg to the side of your body rather than straight in front. This makes the pistol portion easier. To get the extended leg straight out in front of you takes more mobility, and that's something that you can slowly work on if you want. So when you're on the edge of unlocking your first dragon pistol, you can use your hands as assistance to pull your leg straight in front of you. This creates counterbalance and makes it much easier. But don't rely on this step for too long because you need to learn how to do this internally.
The way most people unlock their first dragon is to stand on a ledge, right? So you have some space right here. So a slant board works really nice because you also get a little bit of heel elevation. And then I'm here, and then see how I have this extra space to work with here, right? Over time, you can lower that ledge. For me, my right ankle, my dorsiflexion isn't very good. So on my right side, I always use a little bit of heel lift, but I can get closer and closer to just being on the ground there, because that's kind of the hardest thing, is that clearance of the extending leg, right? But eventually you'll get to the point where you have enough adductor strength to keep that off all the way to the ground.
Because this one involves so much skill, strength, and mobility, it can definitely take some time to develop. But it's also a very rewarding one. When you're able to sit down and straighten that leg out, it feels like you've accomplished something. And personally, these also make my body feel very good. And I think it's that adductor strength that I usually don't work with any other exercises. If you want to dive deeper into this one, my friend Will, who actually taught me the dragon pistol, just made a great tutorial. I'm going to link it in the description. Weighted overhead duck squat builds that low to the ground ankle, knee, and hip strength. The deep squat is just a position that we don't touch enough in everyday life. And therefore, the tissues can be uncomfortable when we try to hang out down there and maneuver around. To be a complete mover, we got to be strong in that fully bent position. A couple months ago, I saw a video from these guys doing the duck walk with a weight overhead, and I thought, genius. So I started using it for myself as some end of the session conditioning. You have to really extend your thoracic spine while staying strong through the legs. The elbows will want to bend. Keep pressing hard upwards using your traps to keep those elbows extended.
Great thing about duck walk, especially with a heavy weight overhead, this is the 45-pounder, you have to stay on the balls of your feet and your toes. You have to produce force from there, which is way more athletic than, something like a barbell squat where you're on your heels. So we get here, and to really be strong here, you have to be pushing through those toes. Pushing that weight up the whole time. Let's go.
45-pound plate for 20 steps is the end goal. This is really challenging. Obviously, start lighter, and if you don't have a weight around, try doing the duck walk with your hands behind your head. Not only will this challenge your spine to stay straighter, you lose the balancing from your hands, so you have to find stability through legs and torso. Technique can differ from person to person. In martial arts, you drive onto the front knee and almost drag the leg behind you. but you're usually on soft mats. If you're outside training, especially with a weight over your head, it makes more sense to stay in more of a squat stance while you move. This one needs to be built up too slowly. The knees especially need to gain tolerance in these low positions. But if you agree that a deep squat is a functional component for a human being, the logical next step is to be able to move from that squat as well. And interestingly, duck squats take less ankle dorsiflexion than a deep squat because you're pushing the knee forward and going onto your toes. So if you have stiffer ankles like I do, this one can be great to get that deep bend lower body strength without the ankle demands. As a little bonus challenge for you guys that like to explore parks in your community, find a handrail and practice walking on it. A great challenge is to go from walking to the duck walk position and then turn around 180 degrees and do the same thing the other way. This will bring a little fear into the equation as you really don't want to fall off. It's a great way to warm up as your nervous system will be very activated. Just use some caution and enjoy the unique gains in strength and balance. So what's a bodyweight leg challenge that you would add to the list? And which one seems the hardest on this list? If you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely enjoy the 5 hanging challenges. You can click that right here. As always,